My name is Edith Wilson, and I was not the first female president. Until Woodrow wakes up, I decide what is and isn't allowed.
This office is amazing. A big green oval and not a corner in sight. This is the first time in either of our young lives.
Oh, I love that you call me young. Keep going.
Q-Code and Crooked Media present Edith, starring Rosamund Pike. Listen on Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Bears fans, download the PointsBet app now and use code BEARS2K to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. PointsBet, the proud sportsbook partner of the Chicago Bears, is outdoing the competition in Illinois. They are live now with -105 spreads on all NFL and NBA games. That's the best odds of any sportsbook. Download the app today to experience Illinois' premium sportsbook for yourself, and don't forget to sign up with code BEARS2K to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER for crisis counseling and referral services.
It's Moose and Maggie on The Fan. Sports Radio 1019 FM and Sports Radio 66, WFAN and WFAN FM, New York.
It's 12:04 and some text messages are just too good to be ignored. Text from Joe in the 631 says, the Weather Channel sucks. It's raining hard here in Brooklyn and the Mets are going to blow this. Joe in the casket truck.
Love it.
The casket truck? The hearse? Or the casket truck? I don't know. He's driving a bunch of caskets?
I think he's just delivering caskets.
I think it would probably be wildly inappropriate to have the fan on the way to a funeral.
I don't think, I probably, well.
Actually, we represent normalcy to a lot of people, I think, No. We're happy. We need a little something light.
Well, you don't necessarily, if you're driving the casket, it's just you and the person sitting next to you.
There's no one riding shotgun in there?
Well, yeah, maybe one of the pallbearers for sure.
It's like, hey, do you mind if I put Moose and Maggie?
It's not a pack.
we got to hear Moose ranting and raving about Corey Kluber.
Right, exactly. I need a little Yankees conversation. So I don't think it's wildly inappropriate, but I don't think he's driving to a funeral. I think he's just delivering caskets to funeral homes. Would be my sense from the text. Now I don't know him from a hole in the wall.
Joe in the casket truck.
Yeah, I don't think if you're going to a funeral, you'd refer to yourself as the casket truck. I don't think I would refer to myself as that. Would you?
I don't know. I don't know. But we're here to try to entertain you, try to make you laugh, and to try to make you smile or make you think at some points. And, sometimes, though, we're here to help you vent, right, and to help you get through your frustrations. You heard Moose earlier today talking about Corey Kluber and not being able to get more than 4 innings out of your second starter. The fact that he's only pitched 10 1/3 innings this entire season in 3 starts and, giving up home runs to the backup catcher.
How about this, Maggie? How about that? Can we stop calling him a starter? Just call him an opener. I mean, that's it. I think Corey Kluber should earn being a starter once again. When you're averaging 3 innings a start, you're no longer a starter. You're an opener.
You're
an opener. You're not a starting pitcher. I mean, you're just not. You're averaging 3 innings a start. A tad over 3 innings a start. That's what you're doing. 3 1/3. That's what you're giving this team. You're no longer a starter. Corey Kluber is no longer a starting pitcher. He's an opener. Aaron, let me ask you the question. Who is Corey Kluber going to open for you guys tomorrow? That's what I would say to him.
Who are you handcuffing Kluber with? Does he get Michael King behind him? Here's the thing. I think back to a conversation that we had.
You're going to start Kluber and bring King in after the first batter.
Well, would you blame him? It was good for Herman when he had to get pulled early.
I know.
I think back to the conversation that we had with
Who?
With who's our
Cashman?
guy? No.
Darren
Former
O'Day?
Yankee. No, former Yankee who had to convince Kluber to get here.
Oh, Nick Swisher?
Nick Swisher. I don't know why Nick Swisher's name just totally escaped from my brain. Maybe I'm the one in the casket truck. Anyway, Nick Swisher told us that it was part of him and his wife were convincing Corey Kluber to try to come to New York. Remember, Kluber had the showcase. We know that. We know that, the Yankees were at the showcase. They were very impressed by it. We know that he has the good relationship with Eric Cressy, who's, the man in charge of keeping the Yankees healthy, all of that. But remember what Swisher said to us, Moose? he's like, I had to tell Kluber, like, this is where you want to be.
Yes.
And we both thought that was odd because the Yankees are the crown jewel franchise of Major League Baseball, maybe all of professional sports. They carry a glow with them that other teams hope to achieve, that they can't even come close to. So why would you ever have to convince somebody to take their $11 million and come, to New York where you could win a World Series? And I wonder if it's moments like this where he's got to go to the car, your smart speaker, listen to us on the podcast, whatever, and turn it on and have Mark Malusis telling you have to earn being a starting pitcher for the Yankees. And you're saying that to someone who won not one, but 2 Cy Youngs in his career.
Well, am I wrong? Would you define Kluber as a starter right now?
Well, when he went two and a third, that's more of an opener. He goes 4, that's somewhere in between. He's a tweener.
He's not a starter. So you want to call him a tweener? I'll call him an opener. Listen, they're going to continue to roll him out there. They're going to continue to roll him out there. They are, and that's.
But maybe you do see David Garcia, not to replace Kluber, of course, but maybe you do start, seeing them tinker a little bit. I don't know. Maybe you do start saying, listen, we'll do another thing where Michael King will come in after, we'll have him ready. And I was joking about the handcuff, but you might actually do it.
Well, but Maggie, I get frustrated the way starters get handled, and it's kind of like new age, old age, right? And we had a good conversation after DeGrom went 77 pitches in his opening start. He did pitch deeper into the game in his second start, and the 14 strikeouts, no support. Once again, they lose the game 3-0.
He went 8 innings.
And he was great, right? But I look at Kluber. I'm not asking for miracles here. I'm really not. I'm not asking for him to do something that, he's the number 2 starter, and all I have to hear about, well, he hasn't pitched in 2 years. Well, then shame on the Yankees and Brian Cashman. They're giving him $11 million for 1 year. All the inside information, the ramp up that we're dealing with here. I mean, he is a professional athlete. He is a pitcher. He was working out during the course of the offseason. We are talking about a guy that's been very, very successful. And I know he's gone through a lot of injuries, some freaky, some significant. I get it. He's gone through issues. But it's not only the fact of if he was dominant for 4 innings, Maggie, and the Yankees were saying, listen, we only had him for 4 innings. We need to limit it. It's a ramp-up. He's not dominant. So there's not a case of, well, you're looking at him, he's ineffective, he's bad, and he's taxing the bullpen every turn through the rotation through 3 innings here. So he's not even giving them a quality start. And he's not even good for 3 innings, 2 1/3, 4 innings, whatever it might be, his 3 starts. He's averaging a tad over 3 innings a start through his first 3 starts in a Yankee uniform. It's okay to expect more from Corey Kluber, even if you weren't expecting vintage Corey Kluber.
Well, Moose, I think it just goes to show that $11 million doesn't buy you what it used to buy you, And I think, I think you might just be the last one to know.
It doesn't. $11 million. I mean, God bless. $11 million for Corey Kluber. Bronx bound we go. It's Chris. It's the fan. What's going on, Chris?
Afternoon, guys.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah, you pretty much covered a lot of what I was going to say. I'd have definitely kept Tanaka and done without Kluber. He failed the eye test. I saw him yesterday, and for 3 or 4 innings, whatever it was he pitched, it looked like BP. And even his stuff that they swung and missed, it didn't look lively. But since I covered all that, I wanted an opinion. Do you think they pulled the hook a little too early on Domingo Germán just based on, his situation? Because if I test, he has a more current, better body of work than Kluber does. And,
they you mean by sending him down, sending him to Scranton? Or in the game they pulled him too quickly? Oh, sending him to Scranton? He's going to be back.
Sending him to Scranton, if that's what we're going to get from the guys that we have left up here, I might as well keep him. He gave up 1 3-run home run in the first game, and no one was going more than 4 or 5 innings. I just think the hook was a little bit more personal, but like you said, they need to switch it up. Plug the new guys in, see what we get. Might as well. Thank you.
Thanks. They optioned Abreu last night, right? Didn't they?
Yeah.
So I'm expecting Germán to come back today or tomorrow. No, they got the off day today, and then I'm assuming he's going to be back.
Yeah, I mean, I think Domingo Germán is not a lost cause. I think he still factors into the Yankee plans this year. He just wasn't good, and the Yankees had to make use of the roster spot with a little bit of a gap of a need of your 5th starter, and decided to send him down, and he wasn't good. I mean, he's the perfect example of why spring training's meaningless. I mean, because you couldn't be more dominant over the course of spring than Domingo Germán was as a pitcher down in Tampa for the Yankees, and then he came up and he was just a lost cause. I mean,
I just want to say
battered around.
Big shout out to Chris at BX Gins, who says, Casket World, baby. I listen every day. I work for a casket distributor. So that's the casket truck. Honestly, I've never seen one of these before. Pete just sent us all these photos of different casket trucks. And there's got to be a better way to transport these. You're looking at you're sending me pictures of vans that have 2 at a time. That's it? You can't get like one of those big, you know how they transport cars, Moose? Like where all the cars are on and they're going all different directions. I'm always scared to drive behind those.
Yeah.
But this is just like 2 at a time, basically, in a van.
That is. There might be bigger casket trucks, but yes. Some of them. One's on the back of a flatbed.
Yeah.
Back of a pickup truck. I don't know if that's necessarily...
That's kind of ominous when you're driving past that down the road.
That is. And it doesn't look like it's properly secured in the pickup truck.
It doesn't at all.
No. Livingston, New Jersey. Anthony, what's going on, Anthony?
Hey, guys. I apologize if you touched on this already, but talking about the Kluber aspect of things, you know, the Mets are in a similar boat with Stroman, who pitched 65 innings over the past 2 years, sitting out last year and having the injury the year before. And look how successful he's been in the first 2 starts. I know Kluber was hurt last year. That's different. He's sitting out for COVID. But, you know, I just think to hide behind the excuse that they're giving, oh, well, he needs to ramp back up and get his legs under him. You know, I just think he might be, you know, no longer the pitcher he used to be. And I think the Yankees should have backfilled the rotation a little bit more. But just wanted to bring that point up, so I agree with you wholeheartedly, Moose.
Yeah, Anthony, I think it's a fair point. I do. Stroman's a good example. Marcus Stroman would have pitched the entire 7 innings the other night, Maggie, if he wasn't on the base pass, and he said he got cold, his legs started shaking, and Luis Rojas, he went to Rojas, and they got him out of the game, got a reliever up, in came Familia. But he was set, ready to go to pitch the entire 7 innings of the second game of that doubleheader. So, and he didn't pitch it all last year. Now, he hasn't had the injuries that Kluber's had. You know, last year, what was he dealing with? A calf issue at the start of the season. It was a calf issue before the start of the year before they acquired him from the Toronto Blue Jays. Pitched very, very well, under 3 ERA in Toronto, and had mixed results initially here with the Mets. So not every injury is one and the same. I could deal with the limitation in pitches early, Maggie, because of everything we talked about coming off of last year and how starters and staffs were going to be handled. I could deal with that if he was just somewhat effective, and he's just not.
Thank you to Chicken Parmalube, who reminded me that Germán can't come back until April 21st or 22nd unless via injury. So it's going to be King or Garcia. But notable that they obviously are
Debbie
off today.
Threw yesterday.
Yeah, so it's going to be King then, right? So off day today, also off day Monday. So that was also they weren't going to need a 5th starter for a little bit. But I would expect that it would be King if Debbie threw yesterday.
Yeah, they were talking about during the broadcast, they were talking about the fact that they were surprised that Debbie was going to throw, and I believe he still did, but did throw yesterday while the Yankees, at some point yesterday, he did throw during the game, and they were surprised by that because they were talking about potential options for call-up for this Yankee team. East Meadow, Richie, what's going on, Richie?
King looked good, though.
He did.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good,
hey,
Richie. How you doing,
what's
buddy?
Up, Richie?
We're good. We're sitting outside of Citi Field in the parking lot, and I'm curious. Do we go into Citi Field? Because right now the weather's not looking too good.
So you made the trek out. You paid the parking, $30 to park, Richie?
25, yeah.
25 to park the car. Right now it's pouring?
Yeah, it's drizzling on and off, and we were at the game last night as well, so we got our money's worth. But we came all the way here. We're from East Meadow, so it's a 30-minute drive, and we're thinking if we should go in or not. But really want to see the ground. Yeah,
I get it. They've opened the gates, Richie, so you can go in.
You know what I would do if I were you, Richie? I would take advantage of the fact that you're in Queens, and I would probably go to, like, you know, Canton Gourmet or Main Street Imperial Taiwanese Gourmet, or go to what's the dumpling place? Galaxy. Like, go get some good food while you're in Flushing. Like, go and get some dumplings and wait this thing out, because you can leave the parking lot and come back, or no?
You're right. Yeah, I don't think you can do it, actually.
Maybe not.
And
get out,
one
go
more
on
question
foot,
just quickly
grab an
about the
Uber,
Mets.
and go and grab some Chinese food in Flushing.
That is true. I mean, you can't go wrong with the food. And I just have one quick question about the Mets. When do you guys think Michael Conforto is going to start hitting again? Because I'm a huge Conforto fan, and I have a YouTube channel talking about the Mets all the time, and I'm hyping him up, and he's not living up to my, me hyping him up. So when do you guys think he's going to break out of this?
Well, I think he is. When can I tell you? A week from now.
A week from.
I can't tell you definitively when he will hit. I think he will hit. It's really defined Michael throughout his MLB career, how streaky he's been. We know he's playing for a contract after this season. We've talked about that a lot, Maggie. He's left a lot of guys on base. He's already been dropped in the lineup. Conforto's eventually going to turn around here. He's got too good of a swing, as Eddie mentioned yesterday, for him not to turn it around. I couldn't tell you, though, Richie, when that will be, when the turning point will be. Pick a date, throw a dart up at the calendar. Who the hell knows when Michael Conforto will turn around? He's not going to be this bad all season long.
I would say that. Colorado would help, but if it's going to be 19 degrees, then I don't know if that really
if you can't feel your hands, that's an issue.
But also, Szechuan House. That's a good place to kill some time.
Yeah,
it's delicious. It's afternoon. They should be open. Anthony Gallo saying Eddie's Sweet Shop also. I would wait this thing out, and I would like eat my way through Queens is what I would do. I would use this opportunity to really dive in, get some good Asian food.
Joey Caskets tweeted us. He said, yeah, Mark Malusis is right. Just delivering a few caskets. So it was not a funeral. He was just making the casket delivery. So.
I think I've changed my mind. I think listening to the fan on the way to a funeral is actually fun.
Yeah, if you're...
sometimes you just need like a little something familiar, like old friends, and that's what we are.
For sure. Conversations take an interesting turn. Talking about funerals, death, burying people, and listening to the fan. And away we go!
Well, I
Happy Thursday!
I could keep talking about your Yankees.
Oh. No, that's depressing.
Look a little lifeless. A little lifeless.
Good job by the Mets opening up the ballpark today. I think they got a window. I love the Rojas quote from about an hour ago saying, we're continuing to monitor the weather. I hope so, Luis. I hope so.
If I were Luis, what I'd say? I'd be like, this is a real group decision, right? You guys all know that,
Direct
right?
the questions to Sandy. You all know his number. Sandy.
I'd get myself over to Roosevelt Avenue.
Exactly right.
Moose and Maggie. Oh, we're going to talk to Brian Scalabrine coming up in just a little bit. And we're going to get into what happened with the Nets last night, a loss. The Knicks with a big win. Could have even bigger implications than just the win-loss column there for the Knicks, too. So we got a lot to dive into. But, of course, your Yankee calls, Mets calls are always welcome. Town Fair Tire, where you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name-brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, with 24/7 support and experienced staff at over 250 local branches. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The weather's getting warmer, and everybody wants to be outside, even your smart speaker. Crank up your favorite Odyssey stations on your Amazon Echo, Google Nest, or Apple HomePod at the pool or while you're grilling. Get your summer soundtrack from stations across the USA, from top 40 to rock, R&B to country. It's all here on Odyssey. Play your favorite station at your command, hands-free on your smart speaker. Your summer soundtrack is part of a universe of audio on Odyssey.